There we go. How's it, man? So, well, we've arrived. We're at Warthog today, and we're going to be flying the Jazz 1. You can see there in the background. So we're getting it ready to be flown, you know?
I've got my wife's name under the wing. I'm a bit worried.
Yes, but you got me worried. I thought it was EFF here. I got very worried, you know? I'm like, E what? No, let me cancel
You and
this.
my wife, there's nothing going on.
Is it?
Just checking.
Check it this. Check it underneath here.
Yeah. But that's why his wife is not coming today.
Yeah.
She's with Daniel's
Yeah,
wife.
so,
Yeah.
you know what I wanted to do, Neville? I wanted to put a GoPro and have a hyperlapse. Because
Yes.
we'll be hooking up the two. But I realized it's only putting the wings and everything like that, you know? So, yeah. Cool, man.
Cool.
That'll certainly make it go back.
What is this JS1? I believe it's a copy of a local glider.
Yes. This glider, it's actually, it was actually manufactured, not a specific one, the real one. It's manufactured in Potchefstroom by the Jonkers brothers, you know. So it was actually, it won a lot of world champs, you know. So yeah, it's from Potch Airport.
Cool, man. Right, we're going to watch you assemble this.
Yes,
And
Yes.
what is the price on a little glider like this? I use the word little with all respect.
You know, price, it's relative, you know. I don't know if I must say this on camera, but
Your wife is not here.
yeah, okay, it's not here. When you're looking at complete kit imported into the country, this one, you're looking at about, I think, 125.
Got you. And I take that is without the self-launch system or
No,
included?
125 ready to fly.
Ready to fly.
Yes, 125. ready
Okay.
to fly, you know.
So, as far as regulations go, what is the situation with models?
No,
You know, drones, we know what happens with drones. Everybody's complaining about it. Is it?
With models, we are blessed, as you can see that we at Parafontaine today flying, and this is a SAMA certified airfield. So that means you're allowed to come and fly your model planes here on condition that you're a SAMA member, because then you are covered under the SAMA insurance. you know.
Understood.
So yeah, and you've also got the correct proficiency in place before you come and fly, you know.
Well, we saw that from last weekend that we had a wonderful time with the real gliders. Yep. So I'm going to let Daniel continue with his assembly, and I'm going to have a gin.
You know it before it.
Well, so you can see it's ready to go. Okay, I'm gonna remove it on the stand.
What is that opening for, Chris?
That's for the
tuck, for the propeller. What's the DR for?
It's my initials, Daniel Ralefeta.
Okay.
Yes. So you can see there on class 1, CA, class Adrian.
So you can.
So a racing data, you got your call, it's your.
You can identify it as you fly.
No, class 1. Is it not your cross sign? Not.
The code sign is the one on the front load.
Yes.
The other one is the competition number, racing number.
Competition number. Yes. competition number. Yes, competition number. And it's usually it's available in initial. That's our thing.
You can choose. Some people use numbers, some people use initials.
Oh yes, yes, okay.
Are you nearly done, mister? Maar meneer, ons kan nie 500 meter in die wolke ingaan nie, so die speed task begin op 400 meter. Daar is hulle almal gefok. Daar is hulle almal in hulle kanon in. Jy edit daai uit, nê?
Jy mag niks edit nie.
Wil jy weet?
Dis alles raw footage. En jou vrou wil ook nie weet wat kos die toys nie.
Nee, maar hulle weet in elk geval. Dit kos baie.
Ja, nee, dis minder as
baie
die
tyd.
Dis minder as die skoene.
Kom hulle sê, net pas op daai dag as jy afstryk en sy verkoop die goed vir die prys wat jy gesê het dit kos. Ja, gaan jou chommies groot maak.
Pilots in.
Dit is pragtig. Dis 'n Axel Pilots. Hierdie ou jy stuur foto's vir jouself. En ek het dit eers later agtergekom. Hy model dan die mannetjie op jou gesig.
Incredible.
Dis ongelooflik. Ja, en hy het hy bou pragtige goed. Dit is baie lig. That's spons mannetjie so hulle weeg next to nothing. En hy bou dit custom vir jou area. Dit is baie lekker. Maar het lyk dit mooi. Dis lekker om al jou batterye en goed hier onder weg te steek. Ek sit hierdie mannetjie hier binne. Hierdie ouetjie is 'n bietjie kleiner as hierdie en dan die Vario stel jy dan customize jy nou vir jou area op en vir die weerskondisies en daai klas van goed en dan ja, jy lees soos 'n Swift se Vario. En 'n earpiece in en dit nou nie mense om jou plan nie en dan kan jy nou lekker die films fliek maar hier by ons. Ek dink die ou regtig Vario's hier so nodig nie. Want ek sê vir jou sê die films hier so is baie sterk.
Alright.
Dit is ongelooflik goed wat hier is.
Bring donders ook goeie thermals.
Ja, ek dink die konveksie wat dit veroorsaak bring baie goeie thermals. Ek dink ons tipe landskap wat ons het hierso met die beboste areas en dan hier is plekke wat gesny is en die verskillende teksture wat daar is veroorsaak ongelooflike thermals wat hier plaasvind. So ons thermals is baie sterk hierso. En ons het dit al gesien hierso waar die ouens hierso klim na baie hoë hoogtes toe waar hierdie goed net 'n spek in die lug is as hy 'n mens loop oor.
Ek sien hierdie Manicoon is ongelooflike detail. Is dit 'n amper persoonlike doelwit om jou pilot in die glider so veel tyd aan hom te spandeer soos jy in die vliegtuig self spandeer?
Absoluut. Nee, dis die hele prentjie. Hier is 'n skaalmodel. So jy wil hierdie hele vliegtuig bou so na aan skaal as wat 'n ou moontlik kan. Dit sluit die cockpit in, dit sluit die mannetjie in, dit sluit sy kontroles as die mannetjie se arms weg is, dan sê jy al die kontroles sien wat die regte sweeftye in het. Van hulle dra water soos die regte sweeftye, so jy kan water ballast vlieg.
Dankie dat jy dit noem. Waarvoor is die funksie van die waterballast?
So as jy speedruns wil doen tipies, dan het jy weight apparent thrust nodig. As jy dit nodig het, het jy meer gewig nodig. So dan gooi jy omtrent so 4 kg se water in die vliegtuig en dan daai ekstra gewig maak net soveel meer spoed wat jy kan kry uit jou sweeftuig uit. So jy kan baie vinniger vlieg en jy kan tipies tussen twee groot thermals kan jy baie vinniger skuif na die verskillende thermals toe. Maar soos kondisies verswak en jy nou die 'n ligter sweeftuig wil hê, kan jy die water uitgooi soos die regte een, so hy spuit dit uit. En dan daar's jou sweeftuig 4 kg ligter en jy kan met 'n baie ligte sweeftuig kom land. So dit is ongelooflike tegnologie.
So, how much satisfaction do you get out of flying models?
Wow, it's the whole thing about aviation is it goes about passion. So any aspect of aviation is passion driven. So from flying the bigger machines, experiencing real life aviation to this year, The passion in these things are just amazing. And with these things, the pleasure of flying these models, and it's something that you do with your hands, you build with your hands, and you can see the fruit of what you've done in a model here, and to have a successful flight like that and experience the atmospheric conditions, thermals, getting to know aspects of aviation from a different perspective. It's phenomenal.
So as a real life pilot, you know, we know what it feels like to take off and land. Do you get similar or very close to the same feeling of flying a model? I've never flown models, so that's
Yeah,
the
I
question.
would say so. I've started to fly models before I started to fly the real planes, and my philosophy is I'm a full-time model pilot, and in my spare time I go fly Boeings. So, and the pleasure in taking off, in landing, is fantastic. But with these things, you have some aerobatics where you stand almost as a spectator, but you're in control. So
Gotcha.
you have this dimension of the aircraft that you can see. You can see the physical maneuver. You can feel the aircraft without physically being inside the aircraft. You can feel it stall without sitting in it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You know, so as a aerobatic pilot myself, we experience, well, I've climbed out of a display where I would read 12 G's positive, 10 negative. So a flight sometimes is only 15 minutes, but you are dead tired afterwards. And as we build up G fitness, you're able to do 4 good flights a day, but that's about it. And yeah, the beauty of this is you can be as tired as you want. You can have a gin in the one end, you can still fly
Wow.
and be legal.
Yeah. Well, you know, in terms of these things, they're also governed by rules very similar to the real things in terms of the do's and don'ts when it comes to the use of narcotics, the use of alcohol, etc. So, and it's also, we have an association that we belong to, so it is something that you have to approach with some professionalism. There's a lot of money that you put into these things, and making a mistake costs a lot of money. So, and also these models, if they can be deadly if you do things wrong. So you got to have a professional attitude when you fly these things.
Okay. Yeah, I was quite surprised to hear that you cannot insure these models. So, you know, the average price for a model can be into the hundreds of thousands of rand. And you know, unlike where I can just phone my insurance company and say I stuffed up, here you phone your bank manager and get another bond on your house to pay for a small repair.
Well, you know, it all depends on your attitude and how you look at life in
Okay.
terms of failures. Because if one of these things had to go down and you destroy the plane, at least it makes space for another one.
Ah,
You see, so, and
I see.
then, but yeah, insuring them is, you can, it's very expensive, and it's, you know, they also have a certain lifespan, and it, at times, 5 years down the line, 6, 7 years down the line, you want to replace it with something new.
Okay.
But you don't necessarily want to
and
crash
for-
it to do that.
and for guys who want to get into the sport, you know, obviously the barrier to entry is quite high if you want to buy something modern like this. What is the second-hand market like?
The second-hand market, it follows the economy. So the weaker the economy, the cheaper the models are. And if you wanted to start with a model plane, let's call it something that flies very similar to real planes, it's got your typical aileron controls, elevator, a rudder, a throttle. They tend to be very inexpensive lately, and I think the second-hand market is very good for people to start out with. And then it depends on your passion and how you far want to push this and how much money you want to throw into this whole model.
Like in simulators that you play on your PC, and I've seen the guys with the RCs having simulators learning to fly. Is there something similar available for glider flying to start learning how to fly if you...
Absolutely, I think that's the way to go today. Is you buy a simulator, it comes with a radio, and you sit on your computer. And it's not necessarily to land it on a specific runway that's on the simulator. It's more to understand orientation when something flies towards you, because the models, the controls reverse when they come towards
right.
you. And once you understand the principle of that and you can fly it with your eyes closed, you have a good starting point and a good foundation to come and fly the models. And that, at the end of the day, when you put that skill set that you got from the computers into the models here, the probability of something going wrong is very slim.
Beautiful.
40 on aileron. Exponentials are made in 14.
Ferreira, Mr. Ferreira.
See, this is real comfortable here.
This is the relaxation point for the gliding community.
Okay, so this is the pre-flight.
We're mentally preparing ourselves for
For the bra this evening. Now this is where we just gather our thoughts
Okay.
before we put our toys up in the air. Now this one I custom built exactly the way I wanted it for my gliders.
Okay.
That's why you can see with the racks on the top, there's two gliders that go in the top and the wings go on the top of that.
Understood. Like your LED lighting and
It makes a big difference in the evening when it's dark.
yes.
If you want to find your bottle of whiskey or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Same as first one. Okay, when you hook off, you're going to go left or right? Right, you ready? Right, here we go. One.
Guys, you want to just come off the runway?
You've got a little bit of flap in there. You've got like flap there. Yeah, because there. Now there's no flap now. Yes,
You can also use mine.
now there's no flap now.
What filler have you got?
I've got one like yours.
White? No. I've got a white.
Andy?
Kevin, watch this. If you have to go just to the right, eh?
Okay, you're landing. Okay, thank you, landing. I'll be number 2.
Don't worry too much about it. It needs to steer.
Thank you.
The reason it's like a base thing. It's
Oh,
base
okay.
onto the runway.
Okay.
The reason for that is whenever something happens and you need to come in, you just quickly up to the left and you're on the runway.
Okay.
Or on the field.
So now you see, this is fun. This is final for me. You understand? Like there's the line that I'm flying now.
Yeah,
There's
that's
like
fine.
I'm almost
Yeah.
parallel to the runway, ne?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you don't have to worry about the runway itself or anything like that. You need to worry about two obstacles, which is deep field.
Oh.
The rest you don't worry about.
Okay.
But you tell me when you're ready.
Now when I put my brakes, straight downwind. Nice. I'll do my first landing.
Thank you.